Hello everybody and a very warm welcome back to the latest episode of Hidden Jewels of Soul and Disco. A big thank you to each and every one of you who joined the live stream last Saturday. We had a blast, we had a great time thanks to you, and we can hardly wait for the next live stream to come up. So once again, thank you. In this week's episode, I'm featuring an artist who is hardly getting any recognition, who did some tremendously great work and also some groundbreaking work in my opinion, and I think she deserves way more credit to her work. In this week's episode, we are featuring Mary McCreary. Mary McCreary, aka Mary Russell, aka Mary Rand, started her musical career very early on. At the age of 10 in 1961, she shared the stage with the Limelitters and sang with them the song Run Little Donkey, which was featured on their album Through Children's Eyes, Little Folk Songs for Adults. After that, she was a member of the gospel group The Heavenly Tones and later on Little Sister. Little Sister is mostly known for a couple of hits in the beginning of the 70s, but they are most famous for being the backing vocal group for Sly and the Family Stone. In 1973, she got her first record deal with Shelter Records and released her debut album, Butterflies and Heaven. And here it is in all of its glory. And before we go into detail, I would say let's have a listen.
It's so beautiful, and I know the transportation there is free. Tell me, mirror, oh, tell me what you see. Oh, don't you envy me now? Don't you envy me? Your bills are paid
I
and
mentioned earlier on that she did some groundbreaking work. Well, being a woman in music business, especially in the 70s, was tough. But being a woman in music business, where you played piano, did all the arrangements and wrote all songs except one, Evil Woman, on your album, is very rare. And that's what she did. And it's a tremendously good album. From the beginning to the end, it's a fantastic album, as you've just heard some snippets of. And the good news is you can easily find this record. Up here, at least in Germany, I see it more often in the soul bins between 5 to 15 euros. So it's available and it's affordable, and you get a real great album out of this. There weren't really such big hits on this album. Like I said, Evil Woman, I mentioned that earlier, became a hit, but it was a very solid album and very good reviewed. In 1974, she released her second album, which was called Jezebel. If you're into reggae in combination with gospel and easy listening, Jezebel is your go-to album. Next to the fantastic cover art. I love the cover art. In 1976, she was part of the group Leon and Mary Russell, and they had a hit which was called Rainbow in Your Eyes. Also featured on the Jezebel album was a song called Singing the Blues, and this song was later on covered by Eric Clapton. In 1977, she sang backing vocals on Tina Turner's album Rough, and in 1979 she released her album Heart of Fire. And I haven't come across a clean copy yet, but that's definitely an album which is on my want list because it's tremendously well. It's kind of electronic and her pumping voice with some great disco beats, so that's absolutely my alley. So if I ever come across a clean copy, you can bet I'll buy it. And if you will find it and you're into this, go and buy it. You won't be disappointed. It got a little quiet in the 80s and also in the 90s with Mary, but in 2005 she released an album which was called Still Together, and in 2015 she released her last album, which was called love and praise, and go, just go. That's so far the story of Mary McCreary, Mary Russell, or Mary Rand. However, your name you're familiar with, you'll find her backing singles on quite a few records. So what's there to say? If you find her music somewhere, if you see her records, go and grab them. You can't go wrong with Mary's music. Highly talented. Playing the piano, doing the arrangements, writing. I'm very sad that nothing more came out of it, especially if you're able to compose and sing and play on your own songs. And therefore, I think it's very important to give her the credit she deserves. That's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed this little episode. And there's a record I wanted to show you this week. Actually, I wanted to show it to you a couple of weeks ago, but it's still held hostage at customs. I do hope it arrives here anytime soon, because also I can hardly wait to present you this artist who is so much underrated and hardly been talked about. Stay safe, stay healthy, listen to good music, maybe merry, and please drink enough and stay in the cool. See you next time. Bye.